Live on Stream It Sports NoCo. It's North. This broadcast is brought to you by Jim's Wings, Northern Colorado's favorite wings since 1991. By Pedersen Toyota, everything cars made easy. And by First Bank. Visit any of our convenient locations in Northern Colorado. And now for the play-by-play, here's Marty Cesario.
Welcome everyone to Fort Collins, Colorado tonight. From the NoCo Ice Center, we've got the Chaparral Wolverines and the Fort Collins Lambkins in 5A Chasse hockey. This is Randy McCoy along with Marty Cesario, Phil Mildren tonight. The Great is on camera, and Marty, we got another top 10 matchup, don't we? Top 5 really matchup in here at Fort Collins.
We got the second-ranked team in the state, according to the latest rankings in both Chasse now and Colorado Hockey Hub. Fort Collins, number 2 in the state of Colorado, and then Chaparral coming up from southeast metro area in the Denver metropolitan region, down there in Parker, Colorado. Chaparral's ranked 5th, and again, both the Chasse rankings and also through Colorado Hockey Hub. 2 teams that are going to be in the playoffs. They're going to get first-round byes. What they'd like to obtain is home ice advantage in their first postseason game, which we are well on our way towards that playoff that is coming up not too long from this moment.
The big key, we were here last week, Fort Collins with a huge win over number 1 Regis. And what I would like to see is not having a letdown for the Fort Collins Lambkins.
Yeah, and that's something that's high in the mind of head coach Dylan Strom for Fort Collins. Gigantic win last weekend, one of the top moments in the state with their victory over number 1 Regis last Saturday night. But it's a new day, and you want to stay sharp, and that's what Fort Collins would like to accomplish tonight.
So we will be back with the player introductions here in just a moment. Randy McCoy here and Marty Cesario on Stream It Sports. You're watching Stream It Sports.
I make my coffee at home.
I cut my own hair.
I buy in bulk. So do I.
Jag tar med mitt eget godis när jag går på bio.
I still use my parents' TV login.
Saving isn't style. Start saving with the Anywhere.
Toyota trucks are built to last. You work, you play, you practically live your whole life in them, and they still maintain their value. In fact, Tacoma is number 1, Tundra number 2, and 4Runner is number 3 overall in KBB resale value. Toyota is the best KBB resale value brand, period. Right now, get 0.9% APR financing for 60 months on a new 2019 Tundra, or get $1,500 cash back on a new Tundra. Find your Toyota at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
After playing the game for many years, and I decided I could either watch from the couch or get on the field and become part of the game.
I think that because it was a natural transition from being a gymnast to coach mantle.
I love the large crowds, the excitement of the game, and you know what? I got the best seat in the house.
Help these kids. Help this community. Become an official.
Toyota trucks are built to last. You work, you play, you practically live your whole life in them, and they still maintain their value. In fact, Tacoma is number 1, Tundra number 2, and 4Runner is number 3 overall in KBB resale value. Toyota is the best KBB resale value brand, period. Right now, get 0.9% APR financing for 60 months on a new 2019 Tundra, or get $1,500 cash back on a new Tundra. Find your Toyota at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
You're watching high school sports on Stream It Sports NoCo.
Back here getting ready for the player announcements, the national anthem. Again, Randy McCoy, Marty Cesario here with you on Stream It Sports for this late evening contest between Fort Collins and Chaparral. And Marty, nice video on the way up here on Twitter. That was nicely done with Phil and Marty. If you hadn't checked it out, that's a preview of the game tonight.
Power of technology, and that's, we have the man with us.
Yeah, we do.
Executive producer Phil Mildren from Stream It Sports Productions putting that out there as kind of a presentation to preview what we're about to witness, which should be some outstanding hockey entertainment between Fort Collins and Chaparral. Visual setup for you might see on Twitter, since you mentioned it, Randy. I like to do my hockey sweater reveal this evening. On the right side of your screen, wearing the white sweaters, will be the homeboys from the Fort Collins hockey program. On the left, traveling up from Parker, those are the Chaparral skaters with those dark jerseys. On the left, and coming up now, will be the player announcements and then the national anthem.
Had a great wrestling match last night as Pooter lost to Rocky Mountain in wrestling, so we'll turn it over to the PA announcer.
Our Collins buddies tonight are Luis Hernandez, Garrett Johnson, and Warren Johnson. Now, tonight's starting lineup. First for the visiting Chaparral High School Wolverines. Number 10, Dylan Florent. Number 15, Andrew O'Connor. Number 17, Ryan Winkle. Number 20, Simon Herbert. And number 24, Hayden Leonard. Good night tonight for the Wolverines. Number 1, Evan Crawford. And now for your Fort Collins Lambkins. At forward, number 6, Greg Billick. At forward, number 12, Ethan Nelly Nelson. At forward, number 21, Nolan Williamson. At defense, number 18, Jesse Corser James. At defense, number 20, Hayden Polakowski. And in net tonight for the Lambkins, number 31, Blake Hahn. Will you please stand and kindly remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem?
National anthem executed very nicely here at the Northern Colorado Ice Center. It is 8:09 Mountain Time. Here along the Front Range, the north side, about 60 minutes north of the Denver metropolitan area, getting ready for top 5 CHSA-sanctioned hockey between second-ranked Fort Collins and fifth-ranked Chaparral. Starting on the ice this evening, we'll start with the visiting Chaparral Hockey Club, and we'll mention the forwards first. Dylan Florent, number 10, along with Andrew O'Connor, who will be wearing the 15 sweater, and then also Xander Sakadinsky, another forward. The 2 defensemen will be out on the ice to start things off for Chaparral. 17 sweater Ryan Winkle, along with 24 Hayden Leonard. In net this evening for Chaparral is Evan Crawford, and that's under head coach Ryan Finnefrock, his second year as the head man for a young program in Chaparral, just their second season competing on the ice here in the state of Colorado. Starting for Fort Collins in the white sweaters, As you see Collins trying to clear and finally doing so successfully. Well, it's a familiar first line of Greg Billick, the center, along with Ethan Nelson and Nolan Williamson, the two wingers. The defenseman pairing that is so good throughout the course of the year, Jesse Corser-James, along with Hayden Polakowski. Starting tonight in net for Collins is Blake Hahn. And first stoppage in play, you can see a shot across the way on your screen of Blake Hahn, who is 6-1-1 on the season. He's allowed 17 goals in the 2018-19 campaign with one shutout. Very confident senior in net tonight. And right now, getting in that butterfly stance. Ooh, there's a puck that flittered his way, and he swept it away with the stick side. For Chaparral starting goaltender, they've got a couple of good ones. Evan Crawford, 2-3-0. It's his turn in the rotation. Kid who's cool and calm. Great position you'll see on the other end, and perhaps you'll see a chance right now as Bakken advances forward. 2-on-2 situations, tries to shove one through that sealed very nicely. And an easy save for Evan Crawford as you see a good look as we zoom in on the ISO shot from Phil Mildren, who is working camera one. Randy McCoy alongside me. I'm Marty Cesario. We are at the Northern Colorado Ice Center, just 1 minute into this top 5 hockey contest. If you want to engage along with us, at Stream It Sports. Chaparral wearing the dark jerseys, advancing across the blue line, and then a whistle blown. Our expectation, there'll be a face-off just outside the Collins zone. And as you see the official exchanging pucks with one of his colleagues, we will face off right underneath us here on the near side boards. Well, that's a nice face-off win for Chaparral momentarily as we have even strength hockey, a minute and a half into the first period here between a couple of the best hockey clubs in Colorado.
Nice stop there.
Kevin Arndt was trying to get back into the play. That's Arndt right there, poking it away and keeping it in the Chaparral zone as Mark Duhadaway tries to apply some forechecking, and Chaparral able to get out of it. Fort Collins, the record overall 11-3-2 on the season, 4-2-2 within the powerful Pinnacle Conference. Most notable, as you know, if you're a Fort Collins hockey fan, is Greg Billick tries to advance forward. Good defense against him on the part of Carter Deal. Oh, Williamson coming through and takes a backhand shot off that far side wing, and a save by Evan Crawford. But most notably, with the story of Fort Collins is what we all witnessed last Saturday night. A team that hadn't lost since the state championship game in 2017, the Regis Raiders in town, and Fort Collins collects a 5-3 win against the powerful Raiders. A lot of momentum for this team in the white jerseys on their home ice here, hosting a team in Chaparral that went to the Frozen Four last season in their first year as a sanctioned hockey program in Colorado. So a nice save from Blake Hahn. Collins having a little difficulty getting out of their own zone in this instance. Can't clear that time. Way to keep it in that Collins zone. Landon Boyd stepping up in the play off the blue line. Chaparral cycling it around. 2 tap passes. It's still alive right in front of Hahn and eventually pulled out, but still Collins cannot clear. Good hustle on his skates on the part of Simon Hurst. No score. Just over 3 minutes into the first period. Shap and Collins playing the hockey in a top 5 matchup via Stream It Sports Productions on the ASBN.TV platform.
We saw Fort Collins come out very aggressive against Regis. Not quite as aggressive this time, but their speed is overwhelming to most teams.
And it did show last Saturday night in that win over Regis. The depth in personnel and the overall speed of Collins. Able to overtake the powerful Raiders. Frauconnect able to get his stick on the puck and send one, and there's Fraukenecht applying the forechecking there. So now Chaparral for a moment having a tough time clearing, and eventually out in neutral ice, Simon Hers able to send one down, and there'll be changes for both squads. Chaparral 10-5-0 on the season, 3-5 within the Foothills Conference, and the Foothills is the most competitive conference, very heavy with power programs here in the state.
Well, good defense there, getting ready for a shot, was denied.
Zach McVicker doing a nice job chasing it down, sends it across the way to Garrett Diltz. And now it's a battle for puck possession through neutral ice, and now Chaparral dumps, and a good chase and hustle on the part of John Connolly for Chaparral. Connolly comes out with it, and he's pressed up against the boards nicely by Nolan Devine of Collins. Some contact starting to be delivered. "12 minutes left in the first period. We are scoreless. Pair of squads that are familiar with each other. They're young squads. Perhaps they will have a rivalry between each other. Again, Fort Collins is only 3 years old as a program. Chaparral just 2 seasons under their belts. Last year, Fort Collins had a first-round bye. When they finally played in the second round, it was a 13 seed in Chaparral who ousted Fort Collins in the postseason. And these two squads also met during the Fall League, to where Fort Collins able to beat Chaparral to advance to the finals at Magnus Arena at the University of Denver. First penalty being recorded on the night. And so for the first time of the evening, it'll be a power play situation in favor of Collins. Cross-checking the call. Shot sent from the blue line, and that goes wide of the goaltender Evan Coffin, chasing it down Nolan Williamson. Power play unit has been powerful here in January as Nelson sends it. Easy glove save for Evan Crawford. That's one of the stories of the surge for Dylan Strom, the head coach for Fort Collins, and what Collins hockey has done. Their power play unit, he's done some shifting in personnel, and they have been effective. Shot sent the way of Crawford, makes another glove save. There's Nolan Williamson working the point from up top. Williamson, certainly one of the best point totalers on this team. Sophomore on the top line, and here working special teams for the guys in white, Fort Collins. Fraukenecht having a hard time getting off the ice down behind the net, and finally he gets up, and he's going to settle into his spot right in front of the net. We're familiar with that. 17, interference. Able to get out of the way, and that shot gets through, no harm. Here's an opportunity.
Oh, man.
And a great save by Evan Crawford.
What a pass. Just a good hockey play all the way around.
All the way around. Well said, Randy, as you get that look of Evan Crawford, because that was beautifully delivered to the far side wing, and then Crawford reacted and made the save. Well, first real threat scoring chance, for my opinion, during the power play for Fort Collins, and Evan Crawford stands tall and swipes the puck out of the air and makes the save for his Chaparral Hockey Club. 6 minutes and more here in the first period at the Northern Colorado Ice Center. 2 versus 5, Collins and Chaparral. 41 seconds left on the power play for Collins. Try that same play, sent it across to the right wing. That was Kevin Arndt waiting for it, and it was tapped away by one of the defensemen on the PK unit for Chaparral. Polakowski up top. Sends one low. Pad save by Crawford. Evan is dialed in this evening in his net for his Chaparral crew. Good look at One of the officials having a discussion. And now we're going to go to even strength as one of the Collins skaters being sent into the penalty box, and there he is right there. It'll be 4-on-4 hockey on the open ice for 21 seconds. And then after that, we'll call it about 1:40 seconds. Chaparral will be in the power play situation. 15 seconds left. 4-on-4, no score. Under 10 to play in the first period. Dylan Floret takes a shot. Hahn seals it well on the near side. There's a shot and a save by Blake Hahn. Just as Chaparral entered the man advantage situation, they take a shot from that far side wing, and Blake Hahn makes the save. .9:42 on the clock, 1:35 man advantage for the guys in the blue sweaters from Chaparral Hockey. And a clear by the PK unit of Fort Collins. 57th time on the season that Fort Collins has been a man down. They've allowed 11 goals this season. Way to chase it down. Chris Fraukeneck being active on the cameras. 1:08 remaining in the power play for Chaparral. There's that 17 sweater stepping into the play once again. Great follow on the back check. Now Chaparral trying to set something up. That's Dylan Floret centering in the power play. Shot from up top. That's wide of Hahn. 49 seconds left in the power play. They cycle it back across the other way, and a good clear on the part of Collins. And the freshman Jesse Corser-James does a nice job. That'll kill some time off. 35 seconds left in the power play for Shap. Each team has been up a man here in this first period. 28 seconds left as we're going to face off just outside the Collins zone. PA pumps out the Yo medal, and we get back to the action. 23 seconds left on the PP for the Wolverines. Advancing forward, that's Landon Shea. Shea looking for help. Nothing there, and look, he's trapped in the corner. Stays up top, sending it from the blue line. Near side was JT Waffle. Not much threat there to the goaltender. Now we're back to 5-on-5, even strength. Calling for it is Ethan Nelson. It comes his way, but can't collect it cleanly, and a good job chasing the puck down, JT Waffle. Billick has it backhand. He's got help working with the stick. Way to step into the play. Right in front of the crease, Ryan Winkle helping out his goaltender.
That's a good friend, isn't it?
Yes.
He was laying right in front of him. I noticed we need to start calling Ethan Nelson Nelly.
Nelly's the deal.
That's his nickname.
Hockey players like to shorten up those names. Matter of fact, I got Millie to my right, Phil Mildred.
Millie.
Uh-huh. We'll just call you Mick, Randy McCoy. Armac. Which kind of fits in Colorado.
Yeah, it does.
Chaparral, an opportunity, score! One is on the board via the centerman, Dylan Floret. You see the 10 sweater celebrating his 26 points of the season, 15th goal of this campaign. Dylan Floret pops the cork. First score tallied by Chaparral Hockey.
And Fort Collins has been all over the net down there, and they just have not been able to get one in.
Well, they got it in that time with an opportunity for Dylan Floret. It was a one-on-one between him and the goaltender, Blake Hahn, and backhand sent through. He solved the goalie, and it's a 1-0 lead for Chaparral here in the first period with about 7 minutes left. Dylan Floret, even strength goal, assisted by Andrew O'Connor and Simon Hers. And a 1-0 advantage for the visitors from Parker. Under 7 to play here in the first period. How many times do you see that happen? A couple of teams, each with the man advantage. PK units do a nice job. We go back to even strength to where you kind of settle a little bit, and someone takes advantage, and that was Dylan Floret for Chaparral. One thing we have learned watching this Collins squad, they don't get fazed by being down a goal or even 2, or in the case of the Cherry Creek game, 3 goals.
Well, you and Phil saw that up at Cherry Creek, and I kind of expected them to come out. They're not flat, but they're, every game's different. And Chaparral's got something to play for, too, so.
As I talked to both of the head coaches during production calls, yes, that home ice advantage for your first postseason game, very, very important. High on the radar for what you want to try to accomplish. And neither one of them are guaranteed. They know they're going to get a first-round bye. They're going to be a top 8 team in the postseason that's upcoming. But they'd love to guarantee they play in their home arena. Under 6 to play. First period, 1-0 Chaparral. Gear debris for a moment out on the ice, picked up nicely by Isaac French. Back in the Chaparral zone. Dennis White working with it. Helps himself with the skate, back up top. From the point, Polakowski. Nice pass across to Logan Kramer, and he's going to dump. That's going to be a change coming up for Ryan Finnefrock and his Shap team. No change for Collins. 5:13 on the clock. Collins hockey in white, trailing by 1. 3-line pass, that's an icing call. You saw the whistle, and Evan Crawford goes over and sends it back to the official, and you see we go back and retreat from left to right on your screen. Which, thank you so much for joining us. Honored to have you. Privileged to share the outstanding high school hockey here in the state of Colorado. This is a Stream It Sports production on the ASBN.TV platform. Nelson takes a shot, another save by Evan Crawford. Danger when number 12 is on the open ice.
Right in the belly.
Just couldn't find a spot. Of course, Ethan Nelson has that hockey highlight that's floating around Twitter and on the internet.
Yeah.
That breakaway shorthanded goal against Regis last Saturday night. Seems to be quite attractive to hockey fans across the nation. Clang. And there's a gorgeous look right there. You got that, Dad? Yes, he does. And a glove save for Dad down there. And he freezes it. And we'll face off just outside the Chaparral zone. Shot from Nelson. That's wide. So Nelly is starting to get active.
Yeah, he is.
Good active shift for Ethan Nelson. Nice back check by Nolan Williamson, the forward for Collins. Sense of urgency being applied by this first line. Here comes Ethan Nelson again, poked away nicely by Ryan Winkle, the defenseman for Shap. Billick has it. Centering pass. No one can get clean feel for the puck, and then it gets advanced forward across to Andrew O'Connor. Weaving with Dylan Floret, who has the lone goal in this contest. Puck flattens out. As we have a change coming out to the ice was Fraukenecht, and he dumps it low so he can have his second line mates get into the play. That would include Jared McFerrin and Zach Bakken. 3:43 on the clock. First period, 1-0 hockey game here in Northern Colorado. 2 skaters for Collins right in front of the crease, but neither could get to the puck. Fraukenecht trying to get it over to Bakken. It's poked away by one of the defensemen for Shep.
Nice unselfish play there. He had a shot as well.
Threats and chances coming for Fort Collins, but Chaparral still leaving a blank on the board, shutting out Fort Collins here in this first period so far. Stoppage in play, 3:15 on the clock. Second-ranked Fort Collins and fifth-ranked Chaparral. This broadcast supported by Jim's Wings. Yum.
Yum. Tell our viewers where Jim's Wings is down there, Mr. CSU.
Right there near campus on the west side. Just go to Moby and hang a left, go west. Get yourself some Jim's Wings. That's yum.
And Max Fink says they're the shizzle.
Yeah, Max Fink confirmed that it's the best thing on earth. And Millie, our camera one, he knows his food, and he concurs.
I bet he's never seen a wing he didn't like.
3:01 on the
Chicken
clock.
wing, that is.
Millie doesn't like the nonverbal profiling.
No telling what you'll get here on Streaming Sports after 8 o'clock at night. So
that is true. It's almost like
kind of the late night crew.
Well, we are in the Mountain West football-wise. 3 minutes even. And we have matching penalties. So it remains 5-on-5 hockey. It's even strength, but there's a pair of skaters in the penalty box for each of the clubs, just matching penalties. So in that case, good to know. Write it down, but doesn't really affect us in terms of any advantages.
Fort Collins loves it because their speed anyway, and boy, they can get out and really get up and down the ice.
Well, there you go. You see an opportunity there. Mishandled across the way on the right wing. Trying to get it over to Mark Duhadaway, who had a goal in that Regis game. Matter of fact, he opened the scoring against Regis last Saturday night. The big win over the number one team in the state. Billick on the lax attack. Takes a shot. Crawford with the glove, but can't handle it.
And cleared.
Here's a little note for you multi-sport fans. Top scoring lacrosse players returning this year on the upcoming spring season. Number 2 in the entire Western region, Greg Billick, who plays for the Thompson Valley lacrosse team. Right now he centers the first line for Fort Collins. Ethan Nelson can't get to it. First on his skates, Hayden Leonard mishandled to where you see a shot from Williamson, but it's blocked by one of the defensemen for Shap. 1:24 on the clock, first period in a 1-0 game. Led by Chaparral. Danahue from up top. Ooh, a couple of opportunities there. Redirected with skates. Billick sends one through and getting great help in front of him.
Chaparral's playing great defense.
Yeah, Hayden Leonard is helping out Crawford in net. Shot can't get through. Billick takes another shot. It's still alive. Another shot. What is Evan Crawford doing in the crease? On his backside, keeping the puck out of his own net.
Little violence down there in front of the net, wasn't there? I don't know who that was, but somebody came through and just said, everybody's going down.
Well, you saw the reaction of Evan Crawford's teammates immediately patting him on the head, giving love to the goalie, because they know what that was. Multiple scoring chances for Fort Collins. And once Crawford went to his backside, you were waiting for one of the Collins skaters to get a stick on it and just lift it and score easily, but it did not happen. 40 seconds left in the first period.
Hello.
Hard forechecking. Now physicality picking up as we finish up this period. Trouble in front of Blake Hahn and then a whistle blown. 25 seconds left. We'll face off in the Collins zone. Again, 1-0 lead. Chaparral. Lone goal, Dylan Floret. Floret at the 9:29 mark in the first period, scoring, assisted by O'Connor and Hurst. And now you see we have a Fort Collins skater, Jared McFerrin, going into the penalty box. The remainder of this period, 20 seconds left in the first. Man advantage Chaparral, and that will carry over to the second. Coming up, we have a guest, special one in this region, Rhett Gordon, Director of Hockey Operations for all the youth skaters in this area. That shot coming towards Blake Hahn. It's still live. He can't find it. And a good reaction by Zach Bakken. Able to come and push the skater out of an opportunity to take another shot at Blake Hahn, and that's how we'll finish the first period of play. So Dylan Floret scores at 9:29 in the first, assisted by Andrew O'Connor and Simon Hurst, and it's a 1-0 game in favor of 5th-ranked Chaparral, leading number 2 Fort Collins. This is Colorado Hockey via Stream It Sports Productions on ASBN.TV.
I make my coffee at home.
I cut my own hair.
I buy in bulk. So do I.
Jag tar med mitt eget godis när jag går på bio.
I still use my parents' TV login.
Saving is in style. Start saving with the Anywhere account.
Toyota trucks are built to last. You work, you play, you practically live your whole life in them, and they still maintain their value. In fact, Tacoma is number 1, Tundra number 2, and 4Runner is number 3 overall in KBB resale value. Toyota is the best KBB resale value brand, period. Right now, get 0.9% APR financing for 60 months on a new 2019 Tundra, or get $1,500 cash back on a new Tundra. Find your Toyota at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Back to the Northern Colorado Ice Center, 1-0 hockey game. 5th-ranked Chaparral with the 1-goal lead over number 2 Fort Collins with 2 periods to play. First intermission, we have a very special guest, extremely fitting for what we're witnessing, especially the guys in the white sweaters. The head coach of the Collins hockey program, the first 2 years of its existence, but still very prevalent here in Northern Colorado. It is Director of Hockey Operations for all youth hockey in this area, Rhett Nelson, visiting with us. And Rhett, can you help us out and tell us, in what ways do you impact local hockey up here in the Northern Colorado region?
Well, overall, I mean, we have our NCYH program basically funnels into 2 high school teams, which is RCS and Fort Collins. So I think we have a pretty big part of that. A lot of these kids obviously look up to these kids and want to play high school hockey here. And obviously there's 2 programs up here that they get to take a choice to. And we push them to both of those programs. We want both programs to do very well in the state, and we believe that both programs will do good in the state.
Rhett Nelson visiting with us, Director of Youth Hockey Operations in Northern Colorado. You mentioned the 2 CHASA-sanctioned high school hockey programs up here, and that is Resurrection Yep. Christian, and then also Fort Collins, who are watching. You know all the kids, all the skaters, and then I have a reference and an awareness of what those 2 very young programs have done. I've seen Res in the Frozen Four twice. Fort Collins is trying to get there. What's your perception of how well these high school teams have been doing being so young as programs?
Right. I mean, I think that's just it's one of those things where we got a good group of kids up here, and it's Northern Colorado hockey, but it's in the same sense, it's one of those things. I think it just builds through our U8 program all the way up to our midget program, and now midget hockey's basically turned into high school hockey, which is what these kids are doing. And it's a great scene here tonight with 2 very good hockey teams, and that's what these kids want. It's their NHL, and that's what we're looking for. And it's one of those things. If these kids can strive for that, that's a perfect situation for us.
You talk about good scenes. I know you're aware of what happened last weekend, and again, Rhett Nelson knows all these kids, since they were skating like little guys. What Fort Collins did against the program, Regis, I mean, what was it like for you witnessing that?
Well, I actually didn't get to witness it.
But you knew about it and heard about it.
I was getting live updates. We were actually in Phoenix with all of our other travel teams, and we were getting updates. And obviously, it's a big deal. Obviously, Regis is the program to beat. Everyone knows that. So it's one of those things where, Fort Collins is obviously a new program. We have the kids here have an idea of what's going on at Regis. They want to be that type of program. They're striving for that type of program, and obviously that's a very good hockey team with a streak that they were able to end. So that's obviously very exciting for them, and I was very proud of those kids to see them walking into the rink, and it's obviously a big feat. They know what's ahead of them. It's one hockey game, like I was telling them. It's a regular season hockey game. Playoffs are a different thing, but it was awesome to see the smiles on their faces to see that, because it is a good moment for them, and it's a great moment for their program.
Speaking with Rhett Nelson, Director of Youth Hockey Operations in Northern Colorado. Again, he was the head coach of this young Fort Collins program the first 2 years of its existence. Now we have Dylan Strom, who's the head man. What can you tell us about your perception of what Dylan Strom has done now that he is the guy who is leading this hockey club?
Right. So, when we took over, it was one of those things when we first started, Dylan and I, instantly became friends, and it was one of those things. He's from Minnesota, I'm from Saskatchewan, and 2 hockey places, and we got along very well as far as our hockey perceptive of what we wanted to do with the program and what the goal was. We're very along the same page of everything that we wanted. The AD with Skip Cadu and Russ, it was actually perfect for us. I mean, it was one of those things, and when I took over for NCYH, it was just one of those things. I just couldn't have the time. I didn't have the time for the kids, and if I didn't have the time for these kids, they deserved, what Dylan had to offer. Dylan stepped up. He wanted to do it, and it was a perfect fit, I think. He's done a great job, and I expect, obviously big things from all these kids and from him and for the program.
Working off of big things and then what the kids deserve, because they work hard, right? Yeah. Let's be self-interested. I want to source you because you're a viewer witnessing what's happening here with this type of broadcast. What does this present as an opportunity for hockey skaters not only in Fort Collins, Northern Colorado, but all of Colorado to have this type of option?
Well, I mean, obviously you guys being here, it's a great option for everybody to witness, to listen to. It's a great avenue for people to all over the state. We have grandparents, looking into this. It's fantastic. It's exactly what it should be for these kids, and this is a big hockey game for these kids. It's a big broadcast, and there really is nothing better for that program, for both programs, and to have these parents, grandparents, all of our future kids that are going to be coming up playing for Fort Collins or Resurrection Christian to stay here, come here, watch this type of hockey and look up to it. It's a perfect situation.
Well, and your community, and I can tell you this and vouch for our crew that it certainly helps to offer this type of new media viewing options for Colorado hockey when you have hockey moms like Sarah Nelson, who runs this facility, and a great place to do it at the Northern Colorado Ice Center. Rhett, we have second period coming up. I want to thank you for visiting, and you keep rooting on your guys, okay?
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, appreciate that. Rhett Nelson, Director of Youth Hockey Operations in Northern Colorado. Right now he's going to root for his guys in the white sweaters. Coming up with a second period on the way, down 1-0. Again, the score, Chaparral 1, Fort Collins 0. Coming up, more high school hockey on Stream It Sports Productions via ASBN.TV.
So we're back here getting ready for the second period. Here's Marty.
Second period of play, and we're just 10 seconds in. And notable as well, the score, Chaparral and the Blue Sweaters have a 1-0 lead on the Dylan Florett goal at 9:29 in the first period, but also a man advantage situation carries over in favor of the Wolverines. So it's a 1-0 game. Fifth-ranked Chaparral with the lead. And on the power play, 1 minute left with the man advantage, Chaparral. Fresh ice out there.
Zamboni.
Yep. Zamboni did its job. Right now, Chaparral, a lot of traffic right in front. And there's a shot coming up from up top, and that's blocked very nicely by Greg Billick. So the forward, Billick, giving body to record a block up top near the blue line. 32 seconds left, power play. Chaparral, and they have a 1-0 lead, changes both sides. Plenty of time for Chaparral to advance on the power play. There's a shot, puck stays alive. Rebound attempt coming off the stick of Mikey Gaudio, but it's saved by Blake Hahn. 19 seconds left, man advantage. Chaparral, scoring chances on the power play for Chaparral. 1 minute, 16 seconds into the second period. Thanks again to Rhett Gordon, Director of Hockey Operations in Northern Colorado, for visiting us, giving some perspective about hockey up north here. Of course, he has perspective on what's happening with hockey across the entire state. And that's the opportunity here for both of these clubs and Chassa hockey in the big picture. Talented skaters who work hard on live digital television. Frauconnect from the near side wing. He was wide, and then another shot comes from the far side. And, well, that's no threat to Evan Crawford. Crawford's been solid as you see him over in his net. Evan Crawford, his turn in the rotation. Cool character. Had a strong first period, a couple of highlight saves, and right now blanking the second-ranked team in the state. We are even strength. Face off on the far side dot. Nice leave from the backside from Nolan Williamson and then sent down low. First line out there for Collins. Good hustle to the puck and advancing forward. Landon Shea on skates. And Shat can't chase it down, and out comes Billick. He's pressed against the near side boards. Good hip check on the part of JT Waffle. And that'll be an icing call. We'll go back down from left to right on your screen. And I believe we're going to face off in the Chaparral zone.
Fort Collins has had a couple of good second periods scoring-wise, so I would be interesting to see if they keep up that trend.
Well, including last Saturday, that upset victory over Regis. It was the 5-goal outburst in the second period that eventually led to a 5-3 victory for Fort Collins. Williamson can't get good wood on it. And then he has a little skirmish. Puck's way up high near the roof and eventually comes down. Billick right in front of the crease. Did a nice job skating to get in there, but can't get one through. There's a shot coming from Danahue, and that's wide. Crowd reacts with a groan. Thought they had a chance. And of course, their James going to chase it down, retreating. That was careful. 2-on-1 situation possibility. No, now it's 3-on-2. Back the other way. Billick takes a shot, and it's saved by Crawford. Puck still alive across the far side. Drop to the deck. Mark Duhadaway, and Chaparral's going to chase the puck down. Recently, goaltenders having a hard time securing the puck after the save.
Yeah, we've seen very few clean catches, have we?
Not lately, and there you got to keep your radar on for rebound opportunities for either club. Puck hits the net, sealed nicely on the near side. That's glove side for Crawford. Butterfly makes the save right there.
Trying to go through the 5-hole there.
Late react by Crawford. You got a good look of that. At the last millisecond, Crawford squeezes his pins together and makes the save. Crawford's been impressive. That's why there's 0 on the board for the second-ranked team in Colorado.
How many times do we see a goal off a rebound? It seems like it's 2 or 3 times a game.
That's why you like those hustle guys who play those roles for any hockey club. We are 4 minutes into the second period. It's a 1-0 game. Chaparral in the blue sweaters. They have the lead. Corser James takes the shot, creeping up, so you see defensemen getting a little more aggressive, coming down from the blue line. And another stoppage in play. Are we going to have a penalty situation? There's a discussion. A little waltz going on between the officials and one of the skaters for Chaparral. And watching across the way, I thought a door opened, and it did. And as we get a good look at Robert Spenceley, now you see Shap's got a player in the box, and that's Carter Deal. Second power play of the night for Fort Collins. Williamson up top, and there's a clean save. Our crew thinks that's the second penalty whistled against the big defenseman Carter Deal. 1:48 on the power play right now for Fort Collins, trailing by a goal in the second period. Power play unit 0 for 1 for Fort Collins in this game. They've scored 21 times out of 59 opportunities this season. Billick, Williamson, Nelson across the way. Nelson flicks it. Nobody there. Williamson follows. Puck stays alive. Back to Williamson. Crowd's anxious, so am I. Standing up. McFerrin cycles it back down low. Collins skaters seem to be active in finding the puck, and Chaparral cannot clear. 1:03 remaining in the power play for Collins hockey. McFerrin blocked by the defenseman. Puck stays alive. Williamson, the whiff, and here comes the clear. And Chaparral elects not to clear and use the speed on skate. Isaac French killing some time. 40 seconds left on the man advantage for the homeboys from Fort Collins. Billick, neutral ice. 30 seconds left, man advantage. Fort Collins down 1 goal. The lone tally tonight, Dylan Floret, 9:29 first period for Chaparral. It's a 1-0 lead for the Wolverines. Corser James up top blue line. Across the way, Polakowski. That got through and then sent to the near side boards deep into the corner by Evan Crawford. 10 seconds left until the Chaparral skater gets sent back out to the ice. 5-on-4 hockey for another 10 ticks on the clock. And we're under 11 to play overall here in the second. Thanks to Jim's Wings, along with Pedersen Toyota and First Bank for supporting high school hockey by studs like that guy. Evan Crawford so far 0 on the big scoreboard. Face-off win Collins. They get a shot off. That's behind the net. 3, 2, 1. Even strength. An opportunity there for Arndt slicing through on the near side slot. Just couldn't get it in.
If you're Fort Collins, you got to be a little bit frustrated at this point. Have not been able to get the puck in the net.
That was Landon Boyd trying to bounce it off the backboards. We've seen that happen often. Good block up top by Bakken. So Zach Bakken doing a nice job. By the way, give a shout to Jordan Lopez in Missouri, Zach Bakken's brother, who is watching the digital broadcast here. 10:05 on the clock, stoppage in play. 1-0 game, Chaparral with the lead. Well, Chaparral's good. You knew this could be the case. This fits our expectations. Chaparral's a good hockey club. They went to the Frozen Four last year in their first year of existence as a Chasen-sanctioned hockey club. Ryan Finnefrock and his staff doing a nice job. Danahue from up top, blocked very well. That was Mikey Gaudio doing a nice job. Under 10 to play, right in front of the crease. Evan Crawford, one save. Repeated taps of the puck right in front of Crawford. It doesn't get through. Joshua Patine back there. But Chaparral comes out with possession of the puck. JT Waffle, how many times have I called out the 14 sweater? Doing the little things. And now a whistle blown. We'll face off back in the Chaparral zone with 9.5 left. Fort Collins 11-3-2 on the season overall. They have 6 consecutive victories. 4 of those wins over top 10 programs. They have been on a roll, including the big monster victory over #1 Regis last Saturday night. Chaparral, by the way, has a Regis connection. They lost the previous night last weekend against that Regis team, 6-1, but then collected a commanding performance, a 9-1 win over Pueblo County last Saturday. Chaparral backhand attempt. Couldn't get a clean shot on it. Down low, still active. Good pass right in front. That was John Connolly trying to find Gaudio. Just couldn't get clean shots off, so scoring chances twice for Chaparral. 8:39 on the clock. We'll stop play. I mentioned that Pueblo County victory last weekend for Chaparral, 9-1 the final. Gaudio, who I just mentioned, Mikey had 4 points in that game, 2 goals, 2 assists, calling out his name. But the top point totaler for Chaparral, Alex Harlan, had a couple of goals and 3 assists in that win last Saturday night. We have not called Harlan's name often tonight. To probe around for the 11 sweater. Perhaps staff didn't inform me of something. Never. Not in hockey. As I talk through my lower body injury on the microphone. 8:10 on the clock. Even strength. Zach Bakken tries to advance, and there was some excellent defense again. That was Landon Boyd. And there he is, a missed exchange with Carter Deal. Looks like Chaparral starting to perhaps play a little bit more conservative keep away. Great defense, and then dump and chase. Frau Connect, near side. A lot more activity with Frau Connect in the open ice on skates.
Oh, boy, that...
And if you're going to tie it up, it could be like that, right?
Yeah.
Corser James gets one through. Crawford pad save, and then the next attempt coming from the far side, and he felt that one too. That was Carter Deal. Got the block, and he's still feeling, I believe, his right femur. Deal is on the right side of your screen, right in front of Crawford. Meanwhile, clear successfully by Chaparral. 7 minutes left, second period, 1-0 game. A few more shots than I'm used to seeing from Corser James, and there's a look at the big, huge, very talented defenseman in Carter Deal. Feeling that after absorbing a block. Did a nice job helping out his goaltender. He's going to have to shake that one out, smooth it out, but you know what? He's a hockey player. We'll see him again. 7:02 on the clock. Lone goal, Dylan Floret, 9:29, first period. Chaparral with the 1-0 lead. Right in front, Billick. But I believe one of the defensemen, perhaps it was Ryan Winkle, getting a skate right in front of the puck.
Great help by Chaparral.
Here comes a march by Chaparral, pushing forward. Right in front. Deflection opportunity for Andrew O'Connor, doesn't get through. Puck goes away and across the boards, just to the left from how you're looking of the Chaparral bench across the way. It looks like Chaparral brings their swag, and that's a good indication of what Chaparral hockey represents. They're a Parker combined club representing 3 high schools down in Douglas County. Ponderosa, Legend, and Chaparral. Opportunity for Nelson. He takes a shot, and it is saved by Crawford. Then Nelson tried to get it to Billick, who was in a good spot. Chaparral gets out of it. Crowd reacting as Billick sent to the deck back there. Meanwhile, everybody's got to stay sharp because here come the Wolverines. Delayed penalty right now. And there's the possession by Fort Collins. Evan Crawford tried to hustle off to get an extra skater on for Chaparral, but with 6:04 on the clock, another power play opportunity for the Wolverines. This will be the third of the night for Chap hockey with a 1-0 lead. So 2 minutes coming up, 5-on-4 in favor of Chaparral. Chaparral's won 4 of their last 5. Look at staff talking. go ahead and read into that. That's a great look. As the official non-verbally showing what he'd prefer to see from a skater out on the ice, and what the final verdict and result will be is one kid in the bin for a full 2 minutes. 6 minutes left, and, well, shot comes right away off the stick of Logan Kramer. So Chaparral with a 1-0 lead, and for another minute 50 seconds, you're up a man. Chap trying to use those boards. Carter Deal keeping it in the Collins zone. Collins can't clear. Crowd reacting to push down from behind. No whistle blown. .5:23 on the clock. 1:15 on the power play. And you see a reaction by Logan Kramer lifting his hands up. He got a stick knocked out, and that's going to be another penalty call. I believe that'll be slashing from behind on a back check by that young man. This is a huge opportunity for Chaparral right now. For a minute 14 seconds, 2-man advantage for Chap with the 1-goal lead. I'll see how Chap's power play unit approaches this. The redirect down low, Simon Hurst can't get it through. So Blake Hahn, the Fort Collins goaltender, and 3 of his skaters going to try to get through this for another 50 seconds with the 2-man advantage. 1:35 with the total power play opportunity. Chap comes out with it. And that's a good job defensively finding the puck. Crowd like that, and so did Randy McCoy.
Yeah, boy.
Well, 5-on-3 just is high anxiety.
It is.
It just doesn't look right. Garrett Diltz will credit him for the clear, and that's Diltz right there. Here comes a shot, and it's way wide.
That's funny math, isn't it, that 5-on-3?
It'll be that way for another 15 seconds. Centering pass, can't get through, and it's blocked. Garrett Diltz once again. Good shift on the PK for Garrett Diltz in the 10 sweater. He's right in front of Blake Hahn down low. And that shot wide.
Uh-oh,
here comes Williamson.
Right time.
Wow, that would have been a great opportunity. We saw it last Saturday with Ethan Nelson on a shorthanded goal against the top team in the state.
That'd have been a highlight right there if he could have finished the play.
Whoa! 26 seconds left on the power play. Who's going to outskate? Somebody else for the puck. Landon Boyd did a nice job. They've watched the game film. You better go get that puck against Fort Collins. 11 seconds left in the power play. It was 5-on-3.
Maybe this will get them going on their offense, too.
Well, that'll add some confidence to your team, killing off a 5-on-3. We are even strength right now. Here's Chaparral taking a shot, and one coming through, couldn't get a stick on it. That was Robert Spenceley doing a nice job. Spenceley stays right in front of Hahn. There's a good battle down low in front of Hahn. 3 minutes on the clock, second period. Another shot attempt on a spin around by Spenceley. Very active shift for Spenceley. And here comes Collins attacking. Shot wide. 2:45 remaining in the second period in a 1-0 game. Dylan Floret, the only goal of this evening. That shot deflected. Excellent defense. Getting in front, James Danahue. And again, get that look as Carter Deal looking behind him. Always be aware if there's a Collins skater coming up behind you to take your puck. Whistle blown, 2:21 on the clock. Pick your pocket. You always have to have high radar, and we've watched that, haven't we, Randy?
Yeah, and we had another one down there that says check or cash. And he checked him right down on the ice, didn't he?
We're going to see a lot of that coming up, I think, in the third period. This is a big deal. Each of these squads is going to get a first-round bye. Who will have home ice? .2:15 remaining, second period. Northern Colorado Ice Arena, 9:14 Mountain Time, the right time. Now some good battles out in the neutral zone. Waiting for that odd bounce of the puck or the garbage goal, if you want to call it that.
Oh, yeah, that's
1:43 left. You see Nolan Williamson getting back into the play in his own zone. Both of these squads doing an excellent job getting back on the prevent from allowing anybody. Matter of fact, we have not seen but one or two odd man situations all night long. And certainly hasn't been one of the 2-on-1 situations you know to see. But right now what you're visualizing is another Collins player. Zach McVicker goes into the box. So for the fourth time of the night, Chaparral has the man advantage, and this will carry over into the third. For the rest of the period here, as the shot comes through and it's sent away. Nice react on the part of Corser James, one of those great freshman defensemen. Up at the point, blocked well by Arndt up top. 1:17 left. Man advantage, Chaparral with a 1-goal lead. Boyd's running it from the point right there. Plenty of space. Collins PK packing in it well around their goaltender, Blake Hahn. Down low, Gaudio battling with a couple of white sweaters. There's a shot attempt, and it's off the skate of the defenseman, Corser James. 50 seconds left, second period. Shot from up top, and it's a score. Landon Boyd from the blue line gives Chaparral the 2-0 advantage.
That was a rocket.
Fair way to say it. That was a gun from up top. Landon Boyd running the point. And how about this? An opportunity on digital television, which, hey, you know the reality? Available across the globe. So hello to all our Thailand viewers. Landon Boyd on screens, his first goal of the season. 16-14 second period, Landon Boyd, a power play goal, and a 2-0 lead for Chaparral. 27 seconds left in the second. A lot of work to do now for Collins. .15 seconds left. Chaparral still pushing. Puck stays alive. And that was a chest protector save by Blake Hahn. And eventually found the puck. So they cleaned it up at the midway of the second period, but we've talked about that. Both goaltenders for a while there can't seem to get a good grasp on that galvanized rubber to freeze it after saves, including that time right there, but Blake Hahn found it. And everybody will face off to his glove side. 10 seconds left in the second. 2-0 lead after Landon Boyd scores on the power play for Chaparral. Number 5 up 2 over number 2, and that's the finish of period. Dose. So we have 2 goals on the night, both collected by the visitors, Chaparral. Dylan Floret in the first at 9:29, and as you just witnessed on the power play, Landon Boyd, the defenseman, recording his first goal of this season at 16-14 in the second, and we'll head into our second intermission. Thanks for watching High School Hockey, a Stream It Sports production on ASBN.TV.
I cut my own hair.
I buy in bulk. So do I.
Jag tar med mitt eget godis när jag går på bio.
I still use my parents' TV login.
Saving is in style. Start saving with the Anywhere account.
Toyota trucks are built to last. You work, you play, you practically live your whole life in them, and they still maintain their value. In fact, Tacoma is #1, Tundra #2, and 4Runner is #3 overall in KBB resale value. Toyota is the best KBB resale value brand, period. Right now, get 0.9% APR financing for 60 months on a new 2019 Tundra, or get $1,500 cash back on a new Tundra. Find your Toyota at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
And we're back here listening to a little bit of punk music here as Phil Mildren, the punkster himself, is over here jamming out. So, Marty, we got a 2-0 game. Chaparral has come out and really just outplayed Fort Collins here in these first two periods, but we know how dangerous Fort Collins can be in their scoring, and so I'm sure they're looking for that. Coach Strom looking for that in this third period.
Yeah, I think those are fair statements applied to both of these squads. Chaparral has had the upper hand. They have been the dominant force. If one club has to be over another, it's got to be Chaparral, and that shows up on the scoreboard with a 2-0 lead for Chaparral. But yes, and I do agree with you when we've watched it all season long, Fort Collins is dangerous. They've got speed, they've got depth that can last a full 3 periods, 54 minutes of hockey. And they certainly are capable of recording 2 goals in this 17 minutes here in the third period to, at minimum, even things up and force overtime. Just getting underway here in the third period. The score is 2-0. The visiting Chaparral Wolverines, the combined division club out of Parker, Colorado, coming in and doing a very nice job and holding a 2-0 lead. Ken Collins try to tie it up, and there's some of those subtleties there where Ethan Nelson trying to advance in the attacking zone, and from behind Dylan Floret just takes it away on the back check. By the way, Dylan Floret has 2 points on the night. That's the 10 sweater. Floret right now, 1 goal. That occurred in the first period. And then he assisted the Landon Boyd power play goal that you saw in the final seconds of the previous stanza. It's a 2-0 lead. We're about a minute into the third period. Second-ranked Fort Collins elevated to that position in the rankings after the big win over Regis last Saturday. Well, they're right now looking at a threat to take an L for the first time in 7 games at the hands of Chaparral. Hockey bingo across the way with the public address announcer. It's been a full team effort on the part of Chaparral, and there's one of those goals that could get you back into it. Carter Deal right there, the defenseman, takes one right in the back. And then what that did is created an opportunity. A winger on that far side got a shot off on Evan Crawford. Credit Crawford, who made the save without harm. It's the second time we've seen the huge guy, 13 right there on the left side of your screen, take some pain. It's a big boy there, and there's, well, Deal going down again. Nice little battle with.
Well, I say check or cash.
That's Frau Connect. Like to watch that all night. 17 in the white, 13 in the blue.
Oh, missed the puck.
It's all safe, no icing call. 2 minutes into the third period. 2-0 game. Floret, even strength, 9:29 first period. Boyd, power play goal, 16-14 second period. Checking the other notable stats via Colorado Hockey Hub. Shout to Scott Catalino and the crew. Evan Crawford having a very nice night with 26 saves. Ethan Nelson coming in. Backhand attempt. Crawford with the save. Opportunity again. Rebound attempt. No putback. And now the net comes off the moorings. High threat scoring chance for Collins hockey. They can't get it in. Rewards. Pats on the helmet for the goaltender, Evan Crawford.
Wow.
Wow is right.
Puck just sitting right there in front of the net, and nobody can finish it.
That might be a highlight that we're going to have to share when we put together the highlight package. That puck, you're right, Randy, well described. It was sitting right there in front of Crawford. No one could get to it quick enough to just poke it past. That's all it would have taken.
Take any. You could have blown it in with the wind. Your wind, but not mine.
Fair enough. I can take a hit. 3 minutes into the third period. Well, we'll see if that at least establishes some confidence momentum for Fort Collins. Billick leaves to Williamson. Nolan looking for help. Sends it. Crawford saw it despite traffic. Hadaway going to chase it down behind the net. Gear debris. Carnage. Well, Collins doing a great job. And that was the goaltender's stick. You see Boyd handing the stick back. And right now, Evan Crawford has a skater's stick. He does not have a goaltender's stick. Until now, stoppage in play. So good help on the part of Landon Boyd. Crawford lost his goalie stick. And Boyd just grabbed something off the rack and handed it to his goaltender. There you go. Nice work by Millie on camera one. That's going to stick, by the way.
Yeah,
Phil
Millie's
Mildred now, he now has a hockey nickname. That's Big Millie.
That's Big Millie.
Almost 4 minutes into the third period. Number 2, Collins, trailing by 2 to 5th-ranked Chaparral. Good game film for the upcoming postseason for all the top head coaches around the state. Wink and hello. Hi, Coach.
You know, even though Hahn's given up 2 goals, he's really had a nice game. I mean, he's had a lot of action tonight, hasn't he?
Dennis White advancing across the blue line, then sent to the cold deck. Off camera, White getting off to get a fresh defenseman pairing out there. Pardon me, just odd changes. So Dylan Strom, the head coach, and his staff hustling to get their line pairings out there, at least their forwards all set up, and that's a credit to Chaparral and how they're operating. Puck frozen by Evan Crawford, who's certainly a large part of this story this evening. Crawford, according to head coach Ryan Finnefrock, I asked him, in this big game, why is he getting the call in net? Finnefrock said, hey, trusts his 2 goaltenders. It's Crawford's turn, and Evan has been outstanding for his Chaparral Hockey Club. Man down, whistle blown, and here comes a grand opportunity for Fort Collins. Power play coming up for Collins hockey, as you see. JT Waffle, who's played so very well, called out his name so many times, so right now he's going to sit in the penalty box for a full 2 minutes. .29 saves on the night for Evan Crawford. Power play, full 2 minutes for Collins. Billick, far wing, takes a shot, snag out of the air by Evan Crawford. 11:48 on the clock, as you see, top side there of your screen. Thanks for joining us. A note for you, not only is this hockey broadcast available live right now, but also on demand shortly, so you can watch at your own convenience. That's for you to know, and also if you'd like to share that with somebody else who may be unable to watch right now on the live broadcast. Just dig around the ASBN.TV platform. 11:27 on the clock. 1:29 left in the power play for Fort Collins, down 2 goals here at the Northern Colorado Ice Center in Windsor. Nelson, Billick up atop at the blue line. Nelson chases it down. He's going to send it low. Man goes down. That's Fraukenecht. Took a shot from behind. Ended up on his belly. Good job by Floret pressing up top. One coming through. Fraukenecht couldn't get a stick on it, and Crawford finds it again. Well, Crawford tonight has the Terminator eyeballs. His scan system is working very efficiently. He's finding everything. There was traffic there in front of him, but he found that rubber. .55 seconds left. Man advantage. Fort Collins down 2 goals. Bakken calling for he takes a shot and a score! Family in Missouri like that one. Zach Bakken scores his 3rd goal of the season. And most importantly, working in the now. Positive zen for Collins hockey, getting to within 1.
Great shot there by the big Millie over there on the camera. And great work tonight. Camera 1.
Camera 1 found 1-1, putting it in net. Nolan Devine credited with an assist. And we're going to give credit for public address. That's a great goal announcement. Zach Bakken gets a power play goal for his Collins Hockey Club. 10.5 left in the 3rd period. It's now a 1-goal game. And here comes Fort Collins threatening Williamson. That's high and above the glove-sized shoulder of Evan Crawford. First goal of the night yielded by Crawford in net. Puck goes up into the rafters. It's a low ceiling here at the Old Barn, the Ice Center. I like it here. Russ on the rafters up above us.
And a cool 47 degrees right here in this high above this luxury suite.
Excellent and correct sideline note by Randy McCoy. I actually do have a temperature device, and we are standing in 48 degrees.
Went up a degree.
10 minutes left in the 3rd period. 1-goal game. Collins just scored. Here comes Nelson. Numbers aren't right, but Nelson takes a shot. Landon Boyd doing a nice job fronting Nelson as he charged. Collins forechecking, can't keep the puck in the attacking zone, and there's a good skate after it, and that's going to be a whistle called icing back the other way. Simon Hurst couldn't get to it quick enough. 9:45 on the clock. Score is 2-1. Zach Bakken at 6:14 in the 3rd period. Assisted by Nolan Devine to make it a 1-goal game. Glove save, Evan Crawford. See that exchange between Kevin Art up front, the forward, causing traffic in front of the crease. Landon Boyd saying hello on his backside. 9:30 left in the 3rd. Can Collins tie it up? Duhanaway has an opportunity, takes a shot into the belly, and a gut save on the part of Evan Crawford.
Are you saying he had a gut feeling?
That time, coming off the forehand release of Duhanaway.
He's had several of those tonight.
Well, 3rd period fits our expectations. Don't trust Collins. They don't ever feel they're down. They've proven that over the course of the season, especially during this 6-game winning streak against 4 top 10 teams. We've watched them be down 3 goals against Creek. They were down a goal against Regis. Calling for it, down low, Dylan Floret. He takes a shot, save Blake Hahn. Puck's still alive, right in front of the crease. Hahn's got to find it, eventually freezes it with his chest. That was a long time, Blake. Long time sitting on the blue.
Couldn't find that rubber pellet, could he?
I mean, we don't have any credibility. We're not out there, but it's amazing sometimes how you get those moments like you just witnessed where you just cannot find that black puck on white or blue. Nelson takes a shot.
Oh, Nelly.
That's off the right shoulder of Evan Crawford. Here comes Collins. Down a goal. First line's out there, pressing in the attacking zone. Billick sends one. Glove can't get to it. 8:40 on the clock. Right wing shot from the far side boards, and that's an easy save for Evan Crawford.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Who.
The crew noting that Crawford electing to freeze the puck often, allowing face-offs in the Chaparral zone. Tried to get it over just to the right of the net to Billick. It doesn't happen, and, well, of course, James going to chase it down. No icing. Even strength, 8:20 left in the third period. All of us watching, witnessing, trying to see if Collins can indeed get 2 goals at minimum to tie things up after being down 2-0 through 2 periods of play. Way to jump into the play on the part of Landon Shea. That shot looked more threatening than it really was. It was behind Crawford. Shot from up top, deflected by Billick, and it doesn't get through Crawford.
That's threatening.
Chaparral clears. Icing changes for both sides. You see Blake Hahn still probably absorbing what just happened where the puck was in front of him in the crease. And he's going to get a rest for at least a couple seconds as he lounges on the crossbar on his own net. Back the other way, face-off in the Chap zone. And a face-off victory by Carter Deal and his Wolverines as McVicker chases it down. There's Floret, who has 2 points on the night. Bakken over the near side boards has the lone goal for Fort Collins. That was in this period at the 6:14 mark. 7:09 on the clock, third period. And now Chaparral will have to reset in the neutral zone. Across the way, that tap you hear is constantly Dylan Floret calling for the stick. Number 10, right there, center of your screen. Dylan forechecking. Pretty nice job to kill off some time because that'll work with the mission of Chaparral right now with the 1-goal lead. Centering pass, nobody there. Floret will chase it down. He'll work around this way behind Crawford, and here comes the march forward by Chaparral with the 1-goal lead. 6.5 left in the third period, and now a whistle blown. Stick down as Dennis White able to skate into the play on the modest rush by Chaparral. And here's you see where we have the whistle. So a 2-minute infraction whistled against Fort Collins. If anything, man advantage for Chaparral to kill off another full 2 minutes. 6:26 left, and now it's a power play for Chaparral. There's a shot from up top. Activity right in front of Hahn. Logan Kramer was sent down right up front. Point blank range. Gets through to Hahn, but he makes the save. Randy, this is going to get nutty the final 6 minutes. You can just feel it in a 1-goal game between these two excellent hockey clubs.
Well, last thing you want to do if you're Fort Collins is give up that number 2 spot just after 1 week.
5:45 on the clock. Chaparral man advantage for another 1 minute, 15 seconds. Shorty opportunity, 2-on-1. Donahue, and he feeds Ethan Nelson, and they've evened the game up.
Whoa, Nelly.
Danahue to Nelly, and it's all 2-2. Another shorty for Nelson on consecutive weekends.
Great camera shot there of Mr. Nelson. What an exciting player he is.
In all sports, there's athletes who just have a knack, right? Well, and we shouldn't understate, as Billick now pressing against Crawford, trouble for Chaparral. Remember, Chaparral still man up right now. 3-on-1, Hahn makes the save, and the crowd reacts positively on the Blake Hahn save. But keep that in mind, Chap is still on the power play. Scoring summary after that tally by Collins Hockey, Ethan Nelson putting one on the board at 11:24 in the third period, assisted by James Donahue. And what we can't understate is the play by that guy right there, number 8. Donahue, because that was a beautiful pass in a shorthanded situation, and just the instinct to realize and recognize this is 2-on-1. We're going to press forward. Able to get one in, Ethan Nelson with the score, and it's all tied up 2-2. Many would say, what else would you expect if you're watching this Collins hockey team? And if you've been watching the hockey games that we've been bringing you through the course of this season. So Evan Crawford's now allowed 2 goals. He has 35 saves on the night. Blake Hahn, a lot less coming his way. 21 saves for Blake Hahn. You see him protecting his goal. And there's one right there. So Hahn read it and extended upward, bounces off his right shoulder, and with 4:20 left on the clock, we'll have a face-off in the Collins zone.
And we're going to have a flash of action here for the last 4 minutes.
Ooh, a lot of action. Thanks to Jim's Wings for helping support the action, along with First Bank and Pedersen Toyota. And thanks to you for inspiring us to bring you this excellent hockey game. Appreciate you watching. Do headway, trying to find Fraukeneck, and he cannot. So instead, Chris is going to try the forecheck, and well, that's 17 right there. Just pushes it back for the reset. Polakowski back in his own zone for a moment. So a little exchange neutralized. Centering pass from Duhadway. Nobody there. Of course, James tracking it down for Collins with a lot of confidence right now, scoring 2 goals here in the third period. Most recently, a shorthanded goal by Ethan Nelson. There's one that Crawford could not freeze, and it's swept away nicely by Landon Boyd. 3:27 on the clock. 2-2 hockey game. Energetic shift by this third line for head coach Dylan Strom. To Headway, White, Arndt, whistle, stop now. And guess what? Power play coming up. Fort Collins will have the advantage for 2 minutes. To the box goes Hayden Leonard.
That's good timing, isn't it?
Well, that's just a huge turnaround where the most recent goal was scored in a shorthanded situation. And now we have a timeout called. And we'll take a break with them. Collins, Shap, tied up 2-2. We'll be right back.
anywhere.
Toyota trucks are built to last. You work, you play, you practically live your whole life in them, and they still maintain their value. In fact, Tacoma is #1, Tundra #2, and 4Runner is #3 overall in KBB resale value. Toyota is the best KBB resale value brand.
That's head coach Ryan Finnefrock right there, second-year man of this young Chaparral program. His Wolverines have allowed 2 consecutive goals, and right now, troubling situation. Confidence, momentum, clearly in favor of the Collins kids in the white sweaters. And now they're on the man advantage for 1:43. Williamson up top running the point. He sends one the way of Crawford, who found it. So crafty shot from Nolan Williamson. Matching that effort, Evan Crawford making a read on it. And the save. Again, Crawford has allowed 2 goals here in this third period, but he's been outstanding, and there he is, crouched down, awaiting the faceoff. 3 minutes short of the 10 o'clock, top of the hour, Mountain Time. 2:42 on the clock overall. Over the glove of Crawford. Stay in the attacking zone. Williamson and Nelson. And this will be a 2-on-2 situation. Landon Boyd killing time, tried to leave it. And if anything, it kills off some time. That's Boyd again, takes a shot, and Hahn makes the save. Well, that's still some moderate success there by the PK unit of Chaparral. 1:04 left with Chaparral being a man down in this 2-2 hockey game.
Hang on, folks.
We've already done overtime in this facility with this production crew. That was, remember, the 1-1 finish between Monarch and Collins. That was back on December 14th. Here's an opportunity. Chaparral, wraparound, backhand shot, and a score! Mikey Gaudio, short-handed, puts one through, finds the twine, and a 3-2 lead for Shep Hockey. .15:05, third period.
The fans go crazy. Pretty good turnout here from Parker.
Well, they like that, where Michael Gaudio matches what we witnessed Ethan Nelson do, scoring on the shorthanded situation. There is a discussion across the way where you see Captain Carter Deal having a talk with 2 officials. The scoreboard does have the Gaudio goal up on the board. Fraukenecht joins the discussion. He didn't like the final verdict, and now we have another timeout call. That's a rarity, 2 timeouts. Not only in a whole hockey game, but also within the same period. And we'll keep it right here as Big Millie gives us the looks.
Well, that's the last thing Fort Collins needed right there.
The Gaudio goal recorded unassisted at 15:05 third period.
Tremendous play by the Chaparral player.
Well, there's head coach Dylan Strom talking to his guys. This is why he reacted when I had the call, and talking about, I just wanted to soar some, okay, that Regis win, what was that? As of right now, it's the biggest moment in Colorado hockey this season. And then he immediately said, yeah, it's going to be tough to beat that, but his immediate reaction was, we're not finished yet. Playoffs are the #1 goal. They haven't won a playoff game yet. As a hockey program, the work is not done. Well, after tying the game up with 2 goals in the third period, Collins now has to do it again to tie things up. 1:51 on the clock, 39 seconds left. Remember, Collins is still on the man up. Fraukenecht tries to break through, and great job by Boyd, getting right into the chest of the skater. Empty goal on the right side of your screen. There's an empty net shot, and it is going to get through. Second goal of the night for the centerman, Dylan Florence. Dylan Strom and his staff took the chance with about 90 seconds left in the game, pulled the goaltender, Blake Hahn, to get an extra skater out on the ice in the man-up situation, so technically, two-man advantage. But eventually, Dylan Florent found it and sent it all the way down across the blue line and into the net for a second goal of the night. Dylan Florent, unassisted. Billick in front of the crease. Officials going to stop play, and now there's a lot of exchanges. This is some of that history that we talked about in the scene set. Remember this. Collins has been good for the first two seasons. They got buys last year, ousted by a 13 seed. Happens to be those guys wearing the blue sweaters. Fall League, Collins gets the win, gets through Chaparral to make the semifinals during the fall season. And now you see the results. There are 4 skaters in the penalty box, 2 for each club. 1:20 left on the clock. There still is 8 seconds left. And meanwhile, the Penguins huddle in the Shap zone. That's an odd look. Check that out. Williamson talking with Crawford, the goaltender. McFerrin also in there. And Simon Hers. How good sportsmanship there. Crawford's had an excellent game as a goaltender. Nolan perhaps going, I'm going to send a couple more your way. I'm coming about 60 miles an hour. You ready for that?
Yeah, it's
Evans' answer all night, buddy. That was a good look. Now we'll have to total up how many skaters are on the ice after all this shakes out.
I think it looked to me like one of those guys got ejected.
Well, I believe it was, I think Cruz said it was the 17 sweater, correct? Tough call. We can't make that read. Well, at this level, we won't call them out. We will, like I said, count the skaters. It's 4-on-4 hockey out there. And for Fort Collins, what they're worried about is they're down 2 as Zach Bakken, who has a goal in this game, tries to advance forward. There's a big check coming from Duhataway. Here we go. Parting gifts.
Well, he hit him the first time and said check. The second time he said no cash.
Right.
He didn't go down hard enough the first time, did he?
And interestingly, that Chaparral sending a player into the box. So what do we have left here? I still see 4 skaters each out on the ice. There's 1:02 on the clock as we're past the 10 o'clock hour, 10:05 Mountain Time. Well, the official scoring summary is going to be loaded with penalties in the third period. And we have 4 goals in this final period, by the way. 2 by Fort Collins to even up at 2-2. And then Gaudio scored, shorthanded, and then Florent, the empty netter. And it's a 4-2 lead. Blake Hahn is out there, the goaltender for Fort Collins. 35 seconds left. Still 4 skaters each. Well, this is a strong win for Chaparral. If this finishes off, 23 seconds left. Ryan Finnefrock's crew comes up north against a sizzling hot hockey club coming off the most notable victory of the entire hockey season for any club by defeating a team that hadn't lost in, it was 20-something months. I knew this because I called the game. Regis hadn't lost since the 2017 state championship game against Monarch. And Fort Collins beat them last Saturday night. Well, Chaparral came right into their arena in northern Colorado and will record a victory. It'll be their 5th win of their last 6 games. And in terms of, you can geek up on the RPI or whatever, but I'm going to dummy it down so I can understand it. Chaparral is now 11-5 on the season, 4 of their 5 losses to Regis and Valor. And those are pretty good hockey clubs under head coach Dan Woodley and George Gwozdecki, respectively. It's a good performance by Chaparral as the building quiets because of how those guys in the blue sweaters executed this evening at the Northern Colorado Ice Center.
Yeah, not much to say if you're a Fort Collins Lambkin. As much as we didn't want to predict something like this, we knew that it could happen after the big win, the emotional drag that comes out after that. And, folks, you got to remember these are 15, 16, 17-year-old kids. They're not 28-year-old professionals. So really a well-fought game, but Chaparral, their defense was just too much for Fort Collins tonight.
Being selfish, I go, all right, I want to see that again.
Yeah, no.
Meet you in March, both of you.
Well, yeah, for sure. And if
and then also what we have to add is there is no let-up for either of these teams. You look at the scheduling. Each of them playing 2 games on a weekend. That's a common occurrence. Tomorrow night for Fort Collins, they got to play the boys from Resurrection, who they all know each other so well, and that's going to be on this ice sheet, and it's going to be rough once again. And Rez has been hot recently, some notable wins. Chaparral tomorrow night, they're going to go to Family Sports Center and take on Cherry Creek Hockey. So that won't get any easier for them as they travel back south to Parker. Well, how about this? Fort Collins did come back. They got goals from Zach Bakken at 6:14 of the third. Then Ethan Nelson on a shorty, assisted by James Donahue at 11:24. So it's 2-2, and you're like, oh, here we go. But then the answer, the counter from Chaparral, Mike Gaudio, unassisted, scores at 15:05. Then the empty netter to finish things off from Dylan Floret. How about the performance of the first-line centerman for Chaparral? Dylan Floret with 3 points on the night, 2 goals, and 1 assist. Ryan Finnefrock's 5th-ranked Chaparral team, now 11-5 on the season. And Fort Collins, number 2 in the state, will drop to 11-4-2 overall.
And the thing that you noticed the most is Chaparral quieted this crowd, didn't they? This is as quiet as this has been all night, and it is late, but they also, just suffered a defeat. So I think that's going to do it.
That quiet, if you're the road team, is the sound of victory.
Sound of victory. That's right.
And Chaparral came up north and collected themselves a W.
In a cold northern Colorado ice arena.
47 degrees here. Let's go get a late cup of coffee, because what could go wrong with that at 10:10 at night here in Colorado. So final score 4-2. Congratulations to Chaparral Hockey for Big Millie, who was running camera 1, and his crew for Randall Mack right next to me. Appreciate all you've done to support hockey, because we should note that Randy is a huge reason why you've been able to watch a half dozen hockey broadcasts this season from this facility, the Northern Colorado Ice Center. You want to hug, big man? Come.
Well, we might not be done, so we'll see, folks. Watch out for Twitter. We'll tell you if we're going to do one more. So for Marty and Phil, this is Randy McCoy signing off again. Final score, Chaparral 4 and Fort Collins 2. We will see you next time.
Live on Stream It Sports NoCo, it's Northern Colorado High School Hockey. This broadcast has been brought to you by Jim's Wings, Northern Colorado's favorite wings since 1991. By Pedersen Toyota, everything cars made easy. And by First Bank. Visit any of our convenient locations in Northern Colorado. This has been a Stream It Sports NOCO production. You can find all of our broadcasts, past and present, by visiting streamitsports.com/PSD.